when I've taught the characteristics of complex trauma in the past, sometimes people, when they hear it and they hear all this negative ramifications of complex trauma, I think because of their own shame, they go to, oh, Tim's looking down on us. Tim's judging us. Tim's just up there saying we're terrible people. Please know that's the last thing I'm doing. I have nothing but love and respect for people with complex trauma. I have complex trauma. I have some of these characteristics. My whole goal in doing this is to help people realize that this is what an innocent child did to try to survive. I'm not trying to punish the innocent child who's trying to survive. I'm describing the things they did to survive and trying to put words into it, because it's not till 20, 30 years later that you begin to realize that these survival adaptations are actually hurting me now. They're actually hurting other people that I love now. And now it helps you understand where they come from. It helps you understand you just can't say, oh, I need to change that and stop doing that. No, you got to deal with the trauma. And so it's just to provide a roadmap for people so that they can begin to change the things they see now in their adult life that are actually harmful to themselves and others. Complex trauma changes a child's or an adult's priorities from going down a path of love to going down a path of survival. So it's important to realize that the brain, when a child is born, it has two big priorities. It wants love, but it also wants to survive. Both of those are very important. When a child has both love and safety, the things it needs to have both of those priorities met, then they feel loved, they feel safe, their needs are met, their love pod is full, and then they choose to live a healthy life. They choose to love others. Love becomes a priority for them to treat others the way they want to be treated. That's what comes out of a healthy life. But what comes out of a child in complex trauma, a child where it isn't safe? What then happens is the brain says survival now must become a higher priority than love. I have to survive, so I have to do things that go against love. So the brain is willing to sacrifice the priority of love in order to survive, because safety becomes the ultimate priority. And so what happens when a person then is in survival mode? It's no longer about love, it's now about the laws of the jungle, the survival of the fittest. So anything in the jungle that makes you weak, that makes you vulnerable, you got to get rid of, because that's where somebody's going to destroy you. That's where it's going to take away your chances of survival. So anything that makes you vulnerable is seen as a weakness. So if I have weak emotions, I cry, I get sad, if I show empathy, if I show love, if I am vulnerable and share openly, if I have a conscience, all of those things make me vulnerable for others to have power over me and to destroy me. So I have to get rid of everything that I think makes me weak, that keeps me from surviving and being the fittest. So the path to survival is not love. The path to survival is to be strong in the sense of not having any of those vulnerable weaknesses. So power is now seen as the greatest attainment, as the most valuable attribute. You got to be strong. You got to be stronger than everybody else. Love actually makes you weak. So there's a huge shift in priorities that you can see. What then is important to understand comes out of that is, in the mind of the law of the jungle, the survival of the fittest, to be stronger, actually what they're saying is you become less human. You get rid of the human parts of you that make you vulnerable, therefore that make you weak. The main piece of strength is physical strength, hardness, not affected by anything. You have no leverage points. That is what makes you strong. So you have to then murder your soul. You have to murder all the parts that make you vulnerable. So to become stronger, you have to become less human. The reality is that actually makes you weaker overall, but not in a jungle environment, but in a love environment that makes healthy relationships, healthy living impossible. So, bottom line is what comes out of complex trauma is my needs must be more important than your needs. Survival of the fittest. I got to be stronger than you. And so I will have a change of priorities. What you can see with that is that then creates within complex trauma narcissistic tendencies. I must be more important than you. My needs must matter more than yours. That's the only way that I can survive. Now, it's important, I think, to understand is that this works itself out typically in 3 different ways in people's lives. So some go to pure narcissists. All they care about is themselves, looking good. Everybody else is a pawn on a chessboard to be used. They don't know how to love. They don't show any empathy, don't have a conscience, pure narcissism. Some go that route. But there's 2 other routes that most from complex trauma go to. And this is what I want you to understand. Some go to fawning or codependency, people pleasing. I'll take care of you. I'll put your needs ahead of mine. I will never say no to you. I'll give you whatever you want. I'll make sacrifice after sacrifice for you. And it looks, how can that be narcissistic? How can that be the path of not love? That looks like love through and through. That looks like the most loving person in the world. The key is this. True love is love unconditional. I love regardless of whether I get anything or not. This is, I'm giving you love with the hope that I will get, with the hope that you won't hurt me, with the hope that I'll earn your love and you will meet my needs and you will give me respect and safety. This is a roundabout way to survive, where my needs are still the ultimate, but I just can't go there directly. I have to go by giving in order that you will give to me. So I give to get. So that becomes what many do. And it's a subtle way that this shift to priorities works itself out. Then there's a third thing. Many in recovery, when they're finally around safe people, they aren't like this at all. They go to the priority of living by love. They're wonderful people. And they go, okay, I don't see this characteristic in my life. How can this characteristic be true of me? But when they get triggered with an intense emotion, fear, anger, stress, they get a limbic brain that's triggered, and all of a sudden, it becomes all about them. All of a sudden, it's you better do what I want. Their expectations of others go up. They become very demanding. They lash out at others. They go back to the survival of the fittest. They go back to that old change of priority system.